So as you can see, I've made the lid for the box. So this is padded, so it's a padded armrest. I've removed the piece of wood that I had in here. I was just curious more than anything else. It was tight getting it out, but it came out alright, and that's glued really nicely in there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to attach the front part to here and then put it in the vehicle and see if it all fits. This is obviously not fixed in place yet. Now I did get it into the car when it was all bolted together last time, so hopefully I should be able to do it again. I'll turn it on its side. Probably needs moving that way a tad. Right, so now time to put this into the car and see if it fits. I will let you know if it does. I'll also let you know if it doesn't. Now that was a little bit tight getting it in and a little bit tight getting it out. Need to make a few tweaks on this part here and then I can finish it off. So I need to put the front part on, which goes up here. Trim a little bit off both these ends here, so this part here needs a bit of a trim, and so does this one. A little bit off the top of this one. But other than that, it should fit really nicely, snug as a bug in a rug. I'll now remove this, finish this off because it just needs the excess leather trimming off. I'll put it to one side. Once I've done that, then I'll continue on this. Now I may put some little cubby holes in the top of this yet, I'm not sure yet, just for comms and whatever else. This part here, the face of this, we'll have to have a cutout in for the fuses because the fuses are behind here, so it needs a cutout with a cover that goes over the top of it. But if you remember in part one, I said that the owner wanted an iPad to fit here. So I think we've got room for a small iPad fit here. That will cover the hole here, even though it's going to have a cover on it. It'll probably cover that up. Once I've done that, I'll cover this in leather, attach them both together, fit them in the vehicle, and that bit will be done. So I'll take this apart now. I'll trim off all the leather excess on here now. Once I've done that, I will get on with the front part and get all that done. So now that is trimmed off, I'm going to start working on this. The hole here that I've cut in here is quite a rough hole. It was just so I can actually get it into position. So I need to clean that up. So what I've done is I've made two templates. So one is slightly bigger than the other, as you can see. So the first one will be to clean the hole up so we get a nice neat hole, and then the other one is to create a rebate inside that, because I need to make a gaiter yet to fit in here. So I want the gaiter to be flush with the top of the leather here. I want to create a rebate, make a little square with a cutout in it, and that will be velcroed in. Once the gaiter's made and actually stretched around the the square that I'm going to put in here. That'll just be held in with Velcro. I still need to make the face for this. I've actually cut the board. It's over length at the minute, but it's cut. It's got the correct angle at the bottom here, so it fits like that, so the angle's correct. I still need to trim off this edge here. So once I've got this into position, I will just use a flush trim bit and just trim off flush with this here. Once I've cut the hole in here for access to the fuses, I'll do the same. I'll probably use the same templates here to cut the hole in the centre here for access to the fuses, and the same templates to actually give me a rebate in the hole so I can put the cover over the top of it. So first job is to put this into position. So I'm just going to hold this into position with some staples. And one more there. Just so it doesn't move. Make sure I've got room. Yeah, plenty of room there. So I've now made the front piece up here. I've put the hole in to access the fuse board. You can get your full hand in there, so we shouldn't have an issue about getting to the fuses. So I've clamped that in place and let the glue go off. I did also put a little tiny coin tray in here. It's not very big, but it'll be enough for a few coins. So I'll put this to one side now, and while the glue is going off on this, I will start to make the box that fits into the rear part of the console. If you remember, under the armrest is a box. So the box is going inside here, so be a separate box that slots in there and then just gets fixed with a couple of screws. But it needs to be removable because the fixings for this part will be underneath where the box goes. So it can't be too tight, but it's got to be snug. Put this to one side. Now I've already cut the pieces for the box, so I've got the base and then four sides, so two of one length and two of another. The bottom of the box is cut from 1/2 inch ply, and then I think this is 6mm. The sides, you don't need anything too thick for this. Now I'm going to cover the box in black suede. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cover the bottom piece as a separate piece, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to cover the sides as a separate piece, and then assemble the box, the four sides joined together, covered, and then the base covered, and then I'll fit the base into the bottom of the box and then attach it with probably just some staples. May put some screws in as well. So I will cover the box bottom first. So I'm just going to staple this into place. I'm not going to glue it. So this is the easiest way to cover something like this. Trying to cover a box which it's already been assembled, it's quite tricky. The easiest way, if it's an assembled box already, is to make a very thin board to slide into the base. So you would cover the inside of the box sides and then make a thin board. You can even use cardboard for that, it doesn't need to be plywood, and cover that up and then just slot it in the bottom. But as I'm assembling the box, I'm going to do it like this. So I'll just trim off the excess. So that's the base covered. I'm not going to worry about the corners for now because I'm going to slot it in from the bottom, so that'll pull the corners in. I'll put that to one side. Now I'm not going to join this side together because what I want to do is I want to bring the fabric inside here so I don't have a seam edge, if you understand what I mean. The easiest way to do this is going to be to roll it up. So I've removed the clamps now from this part of the centre console. It's all glued together now. I've cut the little pieces that needs to cut. So one for the little coin tray here, one for the gaiter, and one for the fuse cover. They may need trimming down a little tiny bit later when I put the leather on, but these will just allow me to compress the leather and get it into position when I cover this whole part. And then if I need to trim them off afterwards when I have to fit leather around these, because they probably will need a little bit of trimming just to tack probably a millimetre off all around. Same with this one. I will cut a hole in this one, so it'll just be like a thin strip all around. That will have the gaiter attached to it, and the gaiter then will fit into that space there. And hopefully I've got all the measurements right, which I should have. It shouldn't be an issue. I've also rounded over the edges of this, so this is now ready for covering in leather. First I need to have a bit of a tidy up because it's an absolute mess in here. Sawdust everywhere, tools everywhere. So I'll get on with the tidying. I'll come back to you when I'm going to start wrapping this in leather. Now that we're all clean inside it, I can start to pattern this part here. So I'm going to draw in a line along here, put some match marks on. So I'll put one there, one there, and one there. Do the same on this side as well. I'll put one there, one there, one there, and one there. So this isn't symmetrical on both sides, so I need to pattern both the sides and the top on this. So I will do this side first. So now that I've done the patterning, I need to wrap this in 3mm scrim foam, just like I did with the rear part of the console. Cut the leather out, sew it together, and then fit it onto here. So again, just like the last time, I'm going to use this to stop the glue getting into here. In fact, I don't want glue in there either, do I? So I'm going to use this one here as well. So I've now cut out the leather and sewn the pieces together, top stitched the seams. Oop, forgot one job. Need to trim those seams down. So all I've done there is just trim the excess down on the seam. So as before, I need to put some glue in this little recess here and wet the inside of this centre panel here. So that should be enough on there. So I'm not gluing these rebates here, just the little corner tray. Because I have a hole cut in here, I can always get in there later and put some contact adhesive underneath here. I will be cutting the hole when I do it as well. You'll see when I get to that point. Roughly get it into position for now. So like before, I'm going to pin the seams. When I get this seam into its correct position, we'll now do the same with this side. So that should do for now. I'm going to start putting a few staples in now, so I'll put some staples down this end here and down this end here, and then I will clamp this one into position first. So that one will go in there. So that's the first one I'll get clamped into position. I will cut this just to relieve some tension on this here. So they're just temporary staples for now. So now I'm just going to put a cut in the bottom of this. So that's going to relieve some tension off that leather there now, and just allow it to stretch in there a little bit easier. So I've got all this now clamped into position. Just got to leave it now, just like I did with the rear part of the console. Leave it overnight. I'll do all the stapling when I take the clamps off. All I'll have to do then is to make the gaiter, and then I'll finish it off tomorrow. So it's now the following morning, and I'm going to take these clamps off and hope everything worked. there we go. It all worked. What I need to do now is to glue down this part here. So across this bit here, I need to glue that down. And then once I've glued that down, I'll glue these pieces down here, trim off the excess. Then I can staple the leather over on the sides, cover the bit that goes here. So I'll cover this piece of wood here. I'll cover that in leather. I need to make the gaiter as well. Once I've done all that, I will finish off the rear part. The box is now in. It is removable. It's tight, but I can push it out. It will move. Then I need to make a cover for the bottom of this. It'll be covered in the same suede as the inside of the box, so it doesn't look odd. Fit the hinges, put that on, make the back part for this so it's having just a board at the back. Once I've done that, I'll attach them both together, fit them in the vehicle, and we're done. So I'll put this to one side. I'll finish this off. So I've now made the cover that goes on here. Also made the gaiter, so the gaiter just velcros into position like that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to join both pieces together and try it in the vehicle. So I'm going to put this in the vehicle now and check it out. So that's now in. It doesn't look too bad. I think the gaiter might be a little bit too small, so I'll have to remake that potentially. But other than that, everything seems to fit pretty good. I'll show you now. So I'm not going to fit this completely. I'm just going to put the couple of bolts in just to make sure they'll go in. So I'll get to all the fuses. Yep. So I'm now going to remove the dash here, take the console out again, and then just do any finishing up that I need to do. It needs a bit of a clean off as well. Once I've done all that, that will be done. So I still have quite a bit to do on this vehicle yet. I've got the front seats to do. I have the end of the dash to do. So it's just that little cap that goes over the passenger side, and the grab handle as well, that needs to be wrapped in leather. Finish this carpet off at the back here and make the top. Now if you watch the video on patterning the top, you'll know that it's not done yet because I'm still waiting for fabric. It's still not in at the suppliers yet, but I may have to get an alternative from a different supplier. So yeah, so if you want to see the making of the seats, finishing off the carpet and doing the top, then hit that subscribe button. I'll see you again. Thanks for watching. Bye.